What's going on, guys? It's Jedi here, bringing you guys another COD Zombies video today. And today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm actually going to be reacting to Lex's video that he reacted to my video of ranking every zombie's wonder weapon. So I actually have watched this before, but I haven't watched it in like a year. So I'm going to be like re-reacting to it a year later after originally watching it when it came out a year ago. So I kind of forgot what he thought about my ranking list, but let's just jump straight into this and let's just see what he's got to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have been asked by the Imperial Jedi to check out his ranking every wonder weapon worst to best.
Yes, sir.
He brings up some
Shout out to
great
Lex.
gameplay of the wonder weapons in some pretty high rounds, and so I think this is going to be an interesting video to see how the wonder weapons actually perform when they're tested.
Yes, sir.
So let's get it done, baby. I'm excited.
It's honestly surreal that he reacted to this video. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Only wonder weapons I didn't rank in this list were...
I would love for somebody to actually do a non-Treyarch version at one point as well, because those wonder weapons, for the majority, from what I've seen, are trash. Most of them.
Gauntlets from
True.
Evil,
Very true.
Okay.
Scavenger in VR11 from Call of the Dead,
Okay.
and the Raygun Mark II variants from Alpha Omega.
Yeah, I have not played those maps really at all, especially like the gauntlets from Ancient Evil. I've only played that map like a couple times. The Raygun Mark II variants from Alpha Omega, yeah. But again, only played that map like 2 times, and that was it. I know Ancient Evil is probably way better than Alpha Omega. Don't get mad at me, okay? I just seriously have not. I just didn't care to play it. I mean, it sucks. I mean, I'll probably go back one of these days and play it genuinely and then give my thoughts on it. But yeah, that and then the VR11 as well. Well, it's like this was before I got Call of the Dead on Black Ops 1, so keep that in mind. I literally didn't have it at this point when making the video, so that's why I could not rank it. But if I were to rank it, it would be like right above the jet gun, basically. So I think I put the jet gun last, so let's check it out.
This is because I never really played those maps, so it wouldn't be fair
Yeah,
for me to
exactly.
rank those
That's
without
fair.
first-hand knowledge of the weapons. But
It doesn't even matter with BO4 because ultimately the wonder weapon of that game is the Helion Salvo.
anyways,
So it's
True.
Get
Facts.
her done.
Honestly.
Yes,
Very, very
sir.
true.
Y'all know my list. Yes.
Yeah, I did. Okay, cool.
Worst wonder weapon ever in zombies is the jet
It's
gun.
trash,
So
dude.
what's interesting is this is the worst
Even on
wonder
Liberty
weapon.
Balls.
I have actually learned to use this wonder weapon. I got to round 100 on transit. It took almost 12 hours, and like I learned how to use this thing effectively. And even
Also, guys, keep in mind this video came out like in March of last year, so this was before Black Ops 6 came out with Liberty Balls and the jet gun. So this is, you know, maybe it could be bumped up a spot or two, but honestly, bro, I don't know. It's like yeah, because it doesn't break anymore. At least I don't think it does. Double check for me, please, and let me know in the comments, because I have not played Black Ops 6 in a while. But I guess for that factor, it is better. So I guess if that was the case, if I were redoing this video today, I would probably bump it up a spot or two. But that's about it. I would not put it up too much higher because it's still kind of whatever. It's not that great. But yeah.
even when you do, it took me like 30 hours to learn how to use this thing effectively. It's still trash. Like, it's
really is.
basically
It
an
really
upgrade for
is.
your Galva Knuckles at the end of the day because of how many times you have to melee just to use it effectively without dying. So yes, statistically, it's amazing, but in practicality, it took 30 hours for me to use. It's absolutely garbo.
I didn't even
Terrible.
bother getting
I agree.
this piece of trash.
Oh,
That's
it's
why I put it
garbo.
so damn low.
Just go to any of my Trans
Pain in the
100
ass to
streams,
collect all
bro.
the
Yeah,
parts, and even
it's
though it
trash.
has unlimited ammo, it does break after a short amount of
Yeah.
usage. Where if you
It
want-
does.
Like, it is easy to
At least
prevent
the
it
old
from
one did.
breaking, but
one
using it
did.
effectively literally requires you to use a glitch. And I don't think Treyarch ever intended it to be a thing, you know?
Again,
Nah, I don't
go
think
back
so.
to
I don't think
all the
so.
parts again through the fog and endure
Yeah.
denizens
But-
mauling your face.
yeah.
Everybody
I like
wanted
my sanity.
this thing as well, literally, to be the
That's
best
true. I
thing
actually do
ever,
remember
like
that.
the Thunder Gun, and it was
Yeah.
And
the
I
worst.
remember
wasting
that.
my time,
Yeah,
so
I remember that when Black Ops 2 was coming out. Literally everyone wanted this thing when they saw the trailer to Transit and shit. I remember wanting it too. I was like, dude, this is sick. Whoa, the jet gun. This is going to be so awesome, so badass. Oh, this is going to be like Thunder Gun 2.0. Fucking dog shit after we got it.
sure to avoid this damn thing at all
Yeah.
costs whenever I decide.
That's why most people don't play Transit anymore. The Wonder Weapon sucks.
On this list, we got
Yeah,
Thunder Gun and Potent.
I stand by this. Tundra Gun is fucking ass. If you do not agree, then good for you. I don't care. I literally could not care less. Come at me in the comments. I don't give a fuck. I really will stand on and die on this hill. The Tundra gun sucks. Major ball sack.
So bad because it spits out snowballs that can deal damage to yourself, even especially if you're in a close quarter situation.
So I've actually watched a video basically saying that the Tundra gun got a massive buff, which is true. However,
it's still
it
trash.
is infinite damage now, but here's the issue with the Tundra gun, right? The issue with this weapon is exactly what you said. You still need PhD flopper.
Yeah, exactly.
Effective.
Exactly.
Like,
That's
me,
yeah, it's stupid.
Like, while yes, there's other wonder weapons like that, like the scavenger and whatnot, it just kind of falls flat. Why would I ever pick this up over the Thunder Gun? While yes, I think it deserves to be rated higher.
I don't know about that. Maybe like a spot higher. I would maybe a spot higher. Maybe I was a little harsh, but I would say it does not deserve to be higher up than where I placed it. Too much, at least.
But the fact that this wonder weapon is only really effective when the shots are directed at the ground rather than at the zombies themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, come on, bro.
It's just the worst version of the Thunder Gun, and it really should not have been introduced into the climax of the Ether story. It's so true.
It's true.
Able to free zombies, but it's not like there's another wonder weapon.
Yeah.
Effectively.
Yeah.
Which leads us.
Dude, I agree with my past self, 100%. I know it's got a bias, but it's like, hey, I was spitting facts. I was creating some good points, you know? And it's just like, it goes to show Black Ops 4, especially like, you know, for that. Besides the Gauntlets of Ancient Evil, they seem pretty cool. Again, I haven't played it, but like for that to be the last wonder weapon for the last map for the Ether storyline, that's just ass.
To our number 31 spot where we have the Winter's Howl.
Yes.
The Tundra Gun's older and slightly better.
So I actually think the Winter's Howl is much worse. Apparently, the Winter's Howl in BO4 also got a buff when you upgrade it. It does enough damage to be infinite damage against the zombies. Regardless, though, I think this thing is trash. Even in
it
BO4,
still is, yeah. No, it's
you're
trash.
not using this thing to get high rounds because the zombies are so fast. You're not.
Yeah, it's
you know
true.
what you're using? You're using either the shield glitch or the Helion salvo. So I still agree. Even the BO4 version, the BO1 version of Winter's Howl, it's terrible.
It is
Garbo.
But better since it doesn't deal splash damage.
It is just only reason I placed it above the Tundra Gun is mainly because the BO4 version is better than the BO1 version. It's still trash, but it's a little better. It's like a little tweak. It goes a little bit of a longer way, but yeah, you know, it's still a trash weapon. It's honestly like on the same level as the Tundra Gun, so
yeah,
and it does
it's
zombies.
so trash.
However, the damage does suck ass since it requires multiple shots to kill zombies.
It does.
It is technically infinite damage, but it's not actually viable. It's not a one shot. It's not like the Thunder Gun where it instantly blows them away. So it's still trash.
Past about round 20, even when upgraded. And it is iconic for how much of a shit weapon it is, but
it is
iconic. Real.
That is true.
For real.
It's because it released alongside Kino. That's why 5.
It was introduced on one of the hardest maps of all time.
Yes,
5.
sir. Love that map.
Yeah, I love map. I love that map too.
Hey! I respect this list. This wonder weapon blows. And I always tell people that when I went to Treyarch and I talked to Jason Lindell, I literally asked the guy, the man himself, why, or if this was even the wonder weapon of the map. I always tell you guys this. Like, this wonder weapon to me felt so mid. I felt nothing with this. The damage is weak. There's 4 upgrades. They're easy to upgrade. I'll give it that. It's kind of a fun way to upgrade, but the damage is trash.
Now, I appreciate the
Why do they nerf this stuff in a PvE mode?
Yeah, I will never understand that either. It's really stupid. I don't get why Treyarch decides to nerf wonder weapons, like Lex said, in a PvE mode. It just doesn't make sense. It's like, bro, if you're gonna nerf shit like in multiplayer or whatever when it's against other players, fine, that makes sense, fair. But against AI, bro, the fuck? Like, make the weapons, some weapons overpowered, especially on the hard ass maps. You kind of need to balance it out. Sure, there may be some maps you kind of need shit wonder weapons on, you know, hard maps, whatever, fine, I guess. But it's like, if you really want people to come back and play those maps, why don't you make it worthwhile to play by giving them a great wonder weapon? You know, to kind of help balance it out.
It is just straight trash.
That was Garbo.
It becomes a 2-shot to kill.
That's why I don't play Voyage anymore.
5, I believe.
That's terrible.
I haven't played Voyage in forever. Can you blame me?
Literally, even though
Still
you
haven't.
get the poison variation
Still
or
haven't
the
played them in a
lightning
while.
variation or the ice variation, you do the grand staircase strat, and it's trash. Like, you still have to spam shots, especially on Blight Fathers, to even take them out.
This ranking is for all the
Specialist
different
weapon is
kinds
better.
of
This is
crafting,
true.
including
This is very true.
weapons, So overall, it's just not a great wonder weapon.
It really
and
is not.
honestly, you're better off just using the Helion Salvo.
Absolutely.
But at number 29 is the Blundergat
Dang.
from Mob of the Dead.
Yeah, this is just the base Blundergat, by the way, before anyone gets triggered. Mob of the Dead, favorite map of all time. Okay, so trust me, I'm not biased. I am purely thinking about, and Lex will say it later, I think he says it, is like practicality. That's basically what I'm basing this list off of. So yes, I'm basing it off of, what's your survivability looking to look like with these wonder weapons and low rounds to being set up throughout the game. I'm not looking at damage necessarily. I'm looking at what's the best wonder weapon choice for you for whatever maps you're going to play, basically, or just in general. If it was just like a sandbox map and you had to spawn in with one of these wonder weapons and go to high rounds, for practicality use, for different reasons, which would be better, and that's kind of like how I ranked it, just so you guys understand, okay?
It pains me to put this.
It
weapon
is
in the
so
title,
true.
As the unpacked version of the gun, it is
Yeah,
not
it's the unpacked version,
Yeah.
so
the 30s,
it's not that great.
Possibly the 40s before it stops one-shotting zombies, which is going to burn through your.
Even with double tap
And
and
you
the
need
headshot
deadshot.
multiplier.
You need to be hitting
Yes.
headshots. The
Yes.
multiplier of the Blundergat
It
on
is
the
great.
head is amazing, but
Yes.
yeah, the unupgraded is not going to carry you that far.
The
Yeah,
packed
exactly.
versions are much better
Exactly.
and
But as it
Yeah.
shouldn't, because it's the unupgraded, that just makes sense.
for a standard wonder weapon, it's not terrible, but
I do say though, the upgrade, like the Acid Gat and the Magma Gat, are genuinely one of the best wonder weapons ever because they don't infinitely kill, but they have the distraction effect, which is even more important in my opinion.
it's just also.
That is true. That is very
Looking at
true.
number 25,
Hey,
And I must say, I think I rated the Magma Gat a little too low in this list. I'm not going to lie. It's because this was, I don't know if it was before or after I was doing my round of hundreds on Blood of the Dead, which I almost got. Stupid ass game crashed and I died in like 96 or something like that. But yeah, when I was playing that with the Magma Gat, dude, it honestly was really good. So I kind of feel bad for placing the Magma Gat a little too low on this list. It's definitely like within the top 10 or even like almost top 5 basically. So I don't know. If I were to go back, I would do that.
Liquefier
Rank it there.
it's sad because listen,
But
I
yes.
think this wonder
But yes, this one, just listen.
weapon could have been number one. It really could.
And it should
Liquefier
have been.
28 hertz.
But
the thing is that because it doesn't damage after round 100, yeah, it sucks. It sucks.
Mhm.
And you have to do a specific strategy. But if you had the pre-patch, I'd argue this wonder weapon is number one.
100%.
So
Exactly, 100%. It may be controversial, but it's true. I mean, it's definitely, it would be the number one pick of all time, regardless. Yeah, like Lex said, if it was pre-patch, yes, I don't disagree with that at all. But we're living in a post-Die Rise world, even with the remastered Die Rise. I'm just talking about specifically the OG version, because that's basically where I'm basing off all this stuff from for the wonder weapons and the criteria. So with that in mind, yeah, the current day original Die Rise, wonder weapon for the Liquefier basically is it just doesn't hold up, man. Not like it used to. It really does not. So that's why I placed it here.
controversial
Pre-patch,
pick,
this
but
shit would
true.
be at number one, no
Literally.
doubt, since
Yeah.
a single shot can end the whole round.
Yeah.
Which is insane to think about.
No other wonder weapon to this day has ever done that. The Liquefier, in its fullest capability, was the best wonder weapon of all time, period.
That's
But
true.
we're talking
That's
about
very
post-patch
true. I would say
Liquefier,
Apothecant Servant is a close second to that, but yeah.
Especially
Yes.
since single shots to zombies last only in the early rounds, and it becomes a slip and slide gun for the remainder of the game.
Pretty much.
Another negative would be the splash
Yeah,
damage it deals,
pretty
especially if
much.
the player has a red screen and is about to down. It's sad to see.
And you may say, like, what splash damage? Bro, I swear I've had it happen to me a few times. I actually did down with splash damage from this gun. It was probably in the earlier phases when this map just released, but still, I have experienced it myself. So don't call me crazy, okay?
This beloved
Saying.
weapon so far down on this list, but it only makes sense since we live in a post-patch Die Rise world.
True. If only there was a map called Die Rise Remastered releasing an upgradable version of the Liquefier. If
Hey,
only.
nice little plug.
Dang! The Wrath of the Ancients above the Slick? Okay, I disagree with that. But
That's fair.
I think it's an interesting pick because I get what he's saying in terms of practicality. Yes, the Wrath of the Ancients is actually way better than the Liquefier in practicality.
Exactly.
Because you
Exactly.
can actually spam shots and be all right.
Exactly.
Liquefier, there's a lot of lead time towards the zombie actually dying after your shot. So I get that.
Yeah, there you go. See, Lex understands.
Yeah.
May
Even
not
the
fully
base is
agree,
better
but he
than
understands.
Liquefire for survivability. Yes. 60 is all right.
Only used as a temporary weapon until the player gets one of the upgraded versions.
Right.
I personally don't use the Wrath of the Ancients for my whole game on DE.
I mean, you're a madman if you do.
And I can't
True, true.
You're literally a madman.
Just had to put the disclaimer out there,
Yeah.
though.
That's why I chose it at number 27. The death of Orion from 9 is at the
Dang. I respect that you put this so down low because
Yeah.
while yes, this
It's-
gun is infinite damage, the
It's just
issue
not
with this
good,
gun
dude.
is that it's slow to kill. It
Yes.
is so bad at the
Yes.
higher rounds. Again, this is another wonder weapon that, in my opinion, if the damage was actually infinite and took very little time,
Yeah.
you would be seeing this wonder weapon near the top.
Oh,
It's just
100%,
another sad
100%.
case of BO4 nerfing, you know?
Yeah,
It's
it's
sad.
stupid, especially with the amount of bosses on 9. Bro, why wasn't this shit buffed to hell? Like, honestly, it should have been buffed so much to counter all the fucking boss spam on 9. I will never understand that.
can be fun to use. It has a primary shot of electricity that is able to be charged up to
I say it's better to use with that glitch tech where you like spam it and then
True.
reload it at the same time, and then literally you're able to take out all the boss zombies on 9. It's incredible.
Honestly, that's
about
the
it.
that's the only way to use it,
It's
though.
the only
That's,
reason it's useful.
well as
Exactly.
cause a chain effect of electricity through a horde,
Yeah.
similar to the fire coming out of the Ark of the Covenant from Indiana Jones.
Oh,
I
that's
appreciate
This
actually
is-
so
the
true.
trailer
this is true.
came out with a Wonder Weapon
yeah, boys got some film knowledge right there.
9's aesthetic. However, I just wish it was more powerful and could
Yeah.
be at a higher spot on this list.
Like, it's so cool. The upgraded version gets purple and all that, but it's just like the damage and the charge up time and the crosshair.
Yeah,
Look
that
how big
shit's
this crosshair is, bro.
huge.
What were they thinking?
The fuck?
Reagan
What were they
Mark 1 comes in
thinking?
at number 25.
Wow.
I know this is a controversial pick. Lex is like, oh no.
A lot of angry comments, but I don't care because
I'm considering, okay, the only reason, and he'll probably explain this too, but I guess I didn't explain this. The only reason why the ray gun Mark 1 is this high is because of Cold War. Cold War ray gun fucking slaps, dude. It is so much better than the past games. It is amazing. If it wasn't for Cold War, this shit would have been like the third worst wonder weapon. Easily. Easily. You know, compared to everything else? Yeah, 100%. So, just letting you guys know.
I think it's interesting that you put this above so many weapons. I personally don't agree with the spot. However, also, I don't know where the VR11 is either. If you're going to include the Modern Warfare 3 one, that'll be interesting.
I'm not, mainly because I didn't get Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, but also, I said in the beginning, I didn't play Call of the Dead beforehand, but, you know, it's all good. It's all good.
But the ray gun Mark 1 is still just a great survivability weapon, right? Like, there's weapons that you would want earlier on in the rounds that
you
would
have
be
to
better
admit,
than
the
some
ray gun
weapons
is
that have
not
infinite
what it
damage,
once
right?
was in the older games like Black Ops 1.
Yes.
It has fallen off tremendously.
It has
especially
fallen
compared
off.
to other wonder weapons that completely
The thing is, though, is that it's not that it's fallen off in its statistics. It's fallen off because of how many other wonder weapons there are that are leagues better. That's the only reason why.
True.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ray gun, and it was always my go-to from the box
For
in
real.
earlier games. But its damage caps out too soon against zombies around.
But then the Cold War ray gun came back and updated it. So it's like, that's a thing.
That's
It's
exactly why I
interesting. You gotta
placed it
choose
there.
which one you want to talk about because, I mean, the Cold War ray gun is so much fun to use, man.
around 40 or
I'm basically putting them all together into one, you know, just to kind of make it easier and simpler to just understand in a way. So that's why it's placed where it is.
50-ish, which makes it useless for high round runs. I love you, Raygun, but you have been outclassed by significantly better.
100%.
Which leads us
It's
to
so
our number
true.
24.
Even the Boom Hilda upgraded, you could make a case is better than the ray gun Mark 1, which is so sad.
Yeah, that
Second
is
at
pretty
number
sad.
24, we have the
Alistair's
Alistair's
Folly.
from
Okay, I did mess up on this one. I will admit I did not put the Alistair's Annihilator. I didn't even rank it. I forgot that you could upgrade this shit. See, I don't play a whole lot of BO4. My bad. I played Dead of the Night more than, I know, surprisingly more than Ancient Evil Alpha Omega. But yeah, man, I mean, I honestly don't even know how to upgrade this shit. So I was like, yeah, I was like kind of like, I'm like, I don't know if I want to upgrade it or not. Like I should have, but it's okay. Looking back on it now, I should have. I was just being a little lazy. But yeah, I would definitely put, like, this is a fine spot I think for this one, but the Annihilator I would put probably in the top 15 or top 10. Because it is really good, especially playing Dead of the Night like for a couple times between the recording of this video and like today, the recording of this video. From that video to this video, So I would definitely say that I would put the Annihilator, even like maybe the Folly. I probably should have put a couple spots higher, but I mean, it's okay because this was me at the time. This is what I felt. So
Dead of the Night.
So is this the
This is
unupgraded?
essentially a slightly better version of the Ray Gun Mark 1 since it does one-shot zombies up until round 20.
If this is the unupgraded, I agree. With the upgraded, though, I would disagree. Because the Alistair's Annihilator, where you get 4 elements in the same Wonder Weapon, is infinite damage. It cooks.
6, which is an improvement to the Ray Gun's drop-off on rounds like 18 to 22.
Yeah.
It does have splash damage, however, like the Ray Gun.
The
it does
base
have a
version's
lower
pretty good.
Magazine capacity, which
Yeah.
is why I said that it's slightly better.
In my opinion, this is the ray gun of the Chaos Zombie storyline. It
True.
literally is because it's
True.
a ray gun and it's also a 4 elemental wonder weapon all at once. It's quite interesting
That is
that
true.
Blundell was able to create something like this.
However, it is a more ideal.
it is pretty
one-shot
cool.
to
I will give it that.
to high rounds,
Yeah.
since it will take you further with one-shotting until you eventually have to rely on your Helion Salvo and Specialist.
True. I don't agree with this list statistically, but I do agree with this list in practicality and survivability.
There you
That's
go.
where I think this list is actually really doing a great job.
Overall,
Yes, sir. That was the whole point of this list. It wasn't because this is stronger than the other one. It's more so of like, hey, this is what's gonna get you to high rounds. This is what's gonna set you up early game or whatever, get you to your goal of like, round 30, round 40, whatever. It's not necessarily, oh, this is stronger than this one. It's like, nah, this is like, hey, I would consider myself a hardcore fan. I've been playing I've been playing zombies for 15 years now since Black Ops 1 released. So I think I'm qualified to say I'm a hardcore fan, especially because I play zombies a lot ever since then, and I've been so involved in it. So this is basically me, a hardcore fan, making this list for both casuals and hardcore fans alike. So
This is a great video, Imperial.
appreciate it, Lex. Thank you.
The Ray K-84 from
Yes.
Firebase D comes in at number.
Listen, bro, this is another infinite damage wonder weapon, but after all the nerfs Treyarch did to this on Firebase, bro, where you have to literally swap the weapon alternate ammo types all the time, this thing is garbo.
For 23.
I
True.
agree.
This may seem
True.
controversial, but the Ray K-84 is a more refined version of the previous 2 Wonder Weapons, since it's essentially an AR version of the
It's basically the Ray Gun Mark IV, but it just feels so clunky to use. I don't know.
and
Yeah, no, that's true. That's very
Yeah,
valid.
splat-
has
no
30
splash
rounds
damage is
not
nice.
upgraded And 50 rounds when upgraded in the
Yeah.
magazine, and has a secondary fire option which provides a Gersh type of thing, and when it's shot at with the primary fire,
You can tell I know exactly what it like. I know the names of things. The Gerst type of thing. No, literally.
it explodes, killing all the nearby zombies.
Yeah.
Now, this is a useful ability, especially if you're in a close quarters environment.
It is, but just the time delay between switching and alternating the modes on the gun is ridiculous. Right when this
That's
map launched,
true.
this Wonder
That is
Weapon
true.
would be so much better if they just kept it like that. But they
Especially after
ruined
has
it,
been
man.
bumped
Yeah.
back to
No, I agree with Lex.
For
now
real.
100%.
entire horde with the explosive rounds, regardless of
Yeah, see, the damage is back, but it's just like they messed up the gun switching. It's just, it feels too clunky still to use.
round number.
That is true.
Really, really great, and that's why it comes in.
That's
at
the only reason why I think Firebase is not as replayable in a way, or just that easy to get to high rounds in a way, but
Yeah.
At number 22, we have the Wonderwalk
Sheesh.
2.
it could be
It's
just skill
crazy
issue.
because if you were to show this to someone in 2008, they would look at you like you're insane. But it's true, man. Infinite damage doesn't always mean everything because this is such a great point. Wonderwolf is infinite damage, but it only takes out 10 zombies at a time. Like, is that... Look at Call of the Dead with the Wonderwolf. Does it really game change the high round capability? Not really, man.
No.
Now, this is a
It's
classic
true.
Wonder weapon and is just as iconic as the ray gun. It has
It's true.
unlimited damage and can take the player to high rounds. However, it only electrocutes about 10 zombies at a time. With the low magazine count, even when upgraded, it makes it difficult to get through those high rounds unless
Oh,
you
yeah.
use Gobblegum.
Yeah.
Or traps
100%.
or anything else. Literally, the WAF is not really as reliable as a lot of people used to think it was.
It
Mm-hmm.
does have immense splash damage, so that does drag
Yeah,
it down.
you
It
could die
does.
with it
Overall,
Yeah.
in World of
solid
War.
Wonder weapon,
Fucking
fun
ass.
game of zombies.
Yeah, for real.
At the number 21 spot, is
Sheesh.
Yep.
the
Firebow for sure. Yes, it's not that
I
great.
respect this. The firebow is the worst upgraded bow. This
And
is
it
absolutely correct.
Arguably the worst version of the upgraded bows,
Yeah.
since it is not great at killing zombies. However,
And it causes a bunch of game errors. And that's why I
That's
also
true.
respect
That
when
is
people talk
true.
about game glitches and errors because in my opinion, those matter as much as the statistics of the weapon. If I use the fire staff and it's causing me game errors, it's a trash wonder weapon, period. I don't care if that was the intentional design or not.
Fair.
Obviously, it
Yeah.
wasn't, but it's just the way it is, so that's the way I'm going to say it, you know?
It does help to kill the Panzer, but honestly, at that point, you'd just be better off with using the other bows.
The
or
Void
just a
bow's
tiny
better for
KRI.
Panzer. Yeah, or
The-
KRI.
True,
Legit.
that's true,
Comes in at
actually.
number 20. The
Hey.
base version of this weapon,
It's a decent wonder weapon, you know? It's almost like middle of the road.
It's true. This is the best version, and also it isn't even that great because every Thundergun type shot you get with this is 15 bullets, so you
Yeah.
only technically get 4 total. You can
Yeah.
suck up the zombies, but when they're so fast, you can only really use this weapon with Ring of Fire, which is
Yes,
why I respect this
exactly.
placing too. Like we're not basing this off a damage point. It's practicality, and this is spot on in
other
my
elemental
opinion.
versions
There you
are
go.
worse, yet they are harder
Straight
to
from the man himself.
Exactly.
It's a solid wonder weapon and can get you to high rounds relatively easy. And you could say that it has unlimited ammo for being able to suck up the zombies for extra ammo, but when you get to higher rounds, it just takes a shit ton of time to suck up the zombies. to the point
Exactly.
where it just becomes almost impossible.
Even with Ring, it becomes incredibly difficult. It's just like,
Mhm.
that's the type of balancing that I really hope they nail out in Call 4, man.
Now, coming in at the number 9.
See, I told you this is before Black Ops 6 came out, so everyone called it Goal 4 because that's what we thought it was going to be called. Big Fat Lamau.
Spot on the list is going to be the
KT4.
KT4 from Zetsubo no
Oh,
Okay, yeah, I would say I did disrespect the KT4 a little bit in this. This was a little bit of a brutal placing right here. Yeah, I'm not a huge Zetsubo lover, but I don't think Zetsubo's a bad map at all. It's definitely an above average map. It's like it is probably is I'll just say it. It's a good map. It is. I just don't play it nearly as often to really use the KT4 to really understand how good it is, but it is basically like a upgraded, it's like a better version of the Sliquifier post patch, I would say, especially as the Masamune. It is really good to that extent, but like, I just don't think it's like the best, wonder weapon at all by any means. I just think it is either it's, kind of middle of the road, but more so could be almost top 10. I would probably put it a few spots higher than this because I feel like this is a little disrespectful, but it is what it is,
Oh,
The damage has been done.
Everybody underrates the KT4. I think it's because of it's the map. It's Zetsubo no Shima. But KT4 is a legendary wonder weapon, especially
It is.
upgraded
It
from
is.
Masamune.
It is.
Infinite damage. It's got a ton of ammo and alchemical. I think people underrate this. This is the first one I disagree with. I get
That's
it.
fine.
It's not
Yeah,
super
I understand.
practical to use, so I do actually agree with that. But
Now, this weapon is pretty fun to use and does
It's
good
still
amounts of
very
damage
powerful.
against zombies
Yes.
as well as the Thrashers, and it is essentially a better version of the Sliquifier post-patch version, obviously.
yes.
It mainly just lacks enough
That is actually very true. It just isn't as continuous as the Silkifier, you know?
ammo for
Right,
both the packed and
exactly.
non-packed versions, which
That's
is
true,
why
low
it
ammo.
comes in as a middle-of-the-road wonder weapon.
I'll respect that. In practicality situations, unless you're in the boss fight area spamming the one hallway
Yes.
that they can come through,
Yes.
I agree. That's a good
At number
point.
18,
Exactly.
We have the Void Bow. from
Void
Dark
Bow?
Rock.
Not a
One
bad
of the
spot,
reasons why
man.
many,
Yeah,
including
it's like a
myself,
middle of the road wonder weapon,
no pun intended, is because it is the most complex bow to upgrade, whereas you can
It
get
is. Yeah,
the
better
process
bows
is
for
too
less
difficult.
complicated steps.
Yes.
It is
It's
better at
yeah,
killing
it's just too
zombies.
much.
Treyarch needs to stop doing that. Why do they make the best bow the easiest quest and then the worst bow the hardest quest? Like, who does that benefit?
Than the fire bow.
No, I mean literally, he's so right about that. Like, what the fuck? like you said, who does that benefit, bro? Like, why would you put this bow in here that's so damn hard to do, but then it's like, and you probably expect us to do it, but then it's not even that great compared to the storm bow, which takes like 0.5 brain cell energy to put that shit together, and then you could just turn off your brain. Like, huh? Excuse me?
However, it just sucks at killing panzers. Let's be honest.
It really does.
It did. I will say it did. I know Lex is gonna probably say the same thing here. So this is me before I understood that knowledge, because I just remembered it from how it used to be instead of how it was at this point and like it is now. So
No, it used to, but now it's actually much better. It is much better against the Panzers.
I guess there's some
Because it actually gives like a stun effect that the Apothecary Servant does to the Margwas. It's basically the same thing, but for the Panzers, which is really cool.
balance.
That is
to
pretty cool.
I guess. It's just such a mid-wonder weapon and can be easily forgettable, especially
It
since
is easily
it
forgettable.
gets outshined by way better versions of the bows.
Yeah.
The original Raygun Mark II
Yay.
comes in at
Yeah.
17. This
Listen, I would disagree with this before, but the headshot multiplier of this ray gun, it literally makes it the best ray gun ever to be released, apart from Ray K, because that is in Cold War mechanics, right? But in Mark II, it's the only ray gun that can actually still kill zombies past round 70 because of
That is
the
true.
headshot multiplier.
That is
So
true.
I actually agree. I think he's going to put Mark III above this, which I personally disagree. But for high rounding, Mark II is easily the best. Mark III
Understandable.
does have more survivability, though, in the lower rounds. So,
Yes,
again, with the
exactly.
way he's ranked this, I agree, man.
version of the ray gun
That's
is
exactly
So
how I mean it.
interesting.
However,
That's exactly how I ranked it. It's just like, hey, are you more likely to survive with this one or this wonder weapon? You know, is this one going to be good for you when you don't have perks and then you kind of you're struggling to get points and you need to survive? You know, that kind of thing. You know.
the reason why it is below the Mark III is because it simply starts dropping off in damage
Yes.
tremendously once you reach the 40s, even when upgraded.
Well, so yes, but the difference is that it can still take out zombies way later on, right? That is the difference, whereas the Mark III
That's
simply
true.
cannot, right?
That is true.
Which sucks because the Mark II runs out of ammo quickly because of that. And
Yes.
sometimes you can only
It
get
does
like
run out
half
of
the
ammo
round with
fast,
all
that's-
the ammo.
It does.
And
It does.
you
Even when
have
when
the
upgraded.
multiples or the paralyzer. So this is why it comes in at number 17.
That's a fair
For the number
spot.
16 spot,
Mhm.
it's going to be the
Yeah,
regular
put
Mark
it just
III
right
from
above.
Kroger.
That's fair.
This is the more
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like the same level basically. If you know, they could flip flop.
It now features a dual wield
Essentially.
right, being a traditional ray gun.
I wish this was infinite damage. In my opinion, again, this
Me
is
too.
another wonder
Me
weapon
too.
Treyarch just effed over for no reason. There's no reason why half these wonder weapons we've covered in this video aren't infinite damage.
And the left being an
Seriously.
energy
I
grenade,
agree.
it's the
I
electric
agree.
energy that you can then
Ridiculous.
shoot with your ray gun to activate a sort of Gersh device, which is a really cool idea and does work well up to about rounds 50 through 60. Then it becomes essentially useless by itself for killing zombies, but if you have a gun with dead wire, then you'll be fine since it'll stall them for a short while.
It's mainly just
Mhm.
used for the bosses at the end of the day, you know. I'm curious how Mark III would be played on other zombie maps, because even if you put it on other BO3 maps, I feel like it would be useless, to be honest, you
At the
know.
number 15 spot, we have the
Chris
Savage Drill from
Lax.
Forsaken.
Yes,
Hey.
sir.
Gonna give me some hate in the comments, but after reviewing this wonder weapon further, it really is a decent weapon and has amazing abilities like being able to turn from an
This is like the redeeming factor of Forsaken for me is the Chris Lax. It is an amazing wonder
For
weapon. The issue
sure.
I have with this thing though is that after a certain point, it just does nothing. It's kind of like this liquefier where it just gets hard capped.
Yeah, that's
just because of
true.
how
That's
fast the
true.
zombies are. But I actually agree with putting it above everything we've seen so far.
axe into
I
a
agree.
Yeah, it just sucks that it caps out
Other than
too
maybe like
quickly.
KT4.
but starts falling off damage
Yeah.
wise at
Yeah,
around
I respect
70
that.
for the axe swinging and around like 50 to 60 for the SMG variant. Probably sooner. I can't recall.
And pre-patch, this thing was a monster. Why they nerfed weapons in a PvE mode? I'll never understand, bro.
Somewhere around.
I'll
there. But,
never understand.
Overall, it's a fun and unique weapon to use, and I'm glad Treyarch added this to close off Cold War instead of just reusing old assets like the ray gun or thunder gun like they did in Alpha Omega and Togder Toten.
For real.
Coming in at the
Yeah.
number 14 spot is the
Yeah, I mean, it's I know I put it a little low, but I mean 14 isn't terrible. It's just yeah, you know, it should be at least top 10. You know, I now looking back on it, but it is what it is.
I put this one higher just because of how good it is against Brutus and the distraction effect. But again, it depends on the map you're on, right? Because with this map, you just spam traps.
Magma Gas
It's
from Blood
so
of the Dead.
funny, right?
Again, this may give me
It's
some
true.
hate,
It's
but
very true.
After going from around 100 several times on Blood a little while ago, it only is useful as being a distraction against the zombies when you head into round 60 plus.
And taking out Brutus. It's good for Brutus. Too.
It's true. It is good
which
for
makes you
Brutus.
have
I forgot to
rely on
mention
your
that.
specialist as well as your other weapons
True,
alternate.
but I mean, that's all of BO4. You're
It is
always
still
relying on
a
your specialist.
solid variant of the Blundergat, and I'd still use it for my round 100 blood attempts if I were to ever do that again.
Yeah.
The wave gun from Moon comes in at our number 13 spot. This is another
I wish this was a little higher, and I get it though.
I think it's a
because
fair
this wonder
spot.
weapon doesn't make drops. That is the worst
Yes,
part about the wonder
exactly.
weapon. It's such a cool looking wonder weapon, such a
It is.
powerful wonder weapon, such
It
a
is.
great area of effect, but just trash when it comes to
sonic
drops.
weapon that
Yeah.
definitely deserves the
Which is
highest
stupid.
potential
It's like, why would it not
because
cause
other
drops
weapons
to
switch
spawn?
into two
I don't know.
variants.
That's why I don't like it
Literally,
too. It's just
yeah.
like,
Version is good for the-
okay, I'll rephrase it. That's why I don't like. That's the one reason why I don't put it as high as people want me to, is because of that. You're going for high rounds, and it's like, dude, if you're using the wave gun primarily as your gun, you're kind of shit out of luck when it comes to drops. So I mean, hey, I know I know you guys are probably like, oh, there's gobblegums, oh, there's this or that. But what I'm talking about the player that doesn't have gobblegums. You know, some people that just choose not to use gobblegums. They want to have a more of a purist type of gameplay, or whatever. You know, or just in general, they don't want to waste gobblegums in the game per se. If they have very few, you know, it's just you got to think about that too. It's just all sorts of different things.
Early rounds, but starts to drop off around.
People called the wave gun when it first launched like the ray gun Mark II, literally, because this wonder weapon came out before the Mark II and BO2, man.
That's true.
Literally,
That is
it was
very
the
true.
original kind of like
So you'd
upgrade of
just
the
be
ray
better
gun.
off using the wave gun variant, which is
Yeah.
miles better anyway. The only thing is that the ammo is quite low, even when
Ammo is
Very,
I think it's a good
very
balance
low.
Because if it had a lot more ammo, it would probably make this weapon a little too overpowered.
I agree, and especially with all chemical, it would be ridiculous.
At number 12, we have the
Wind
Wind Staff. from
Staff.
Origins. I believe this is the worst staff since it has the lowest ammo count of the four and does the lowest amount of damage.
I think this answer changes between BO2 and BO3 because interestingly enough, I just posted a video on my main channel talking about how the staffs on different maps literally become better or worse, like with Town with the fire zombies or Shadows of Evil with which staffs affect the Margwas or not. And so I think staffs are always going to be objective. However, I do think the Wind Staff is worse on BO3, and I definitely hope that he puts Ice Staff at number 1 because the damage on that is statistically just better than everything. And in my opinion, it has a freeze effect. Like, stun is everything.
Yeah,
with
that makes
Goblin, you
sense.
know?
I will give
That
it
makes
credit,
sense.
though, for being fairly easy to build and upgrade, especially if you have good RNG and are able to get it before the Panzer spawns around 8.
True.
But again,
It's hard to
Yeah.
get as well, which I,
That's
you
what I
know, I
mean.
respect that he puts that in. In a practical sense, yeah.
there are better-
Lightning
better
Staff's
choices
way
for you.
easier.
Especially when it's all fucking RNG based. Like that's basically what I was saying. I'm like, yeah, that's like good luck, especially if you're on Black Ops 2 Origins with no gobblegums and shit like that. Yeah, good luck getting the staff before the Panzer gets there if you just have terrible RNG.
to get.
From, and I know I wouldn't make the Wind Staff my go-to when playing a game of Origins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it also can glitch out a lot as well. Wind Staff and Fire Staff are very glitchy. Then Lightning, then Fire, then Ice. Okay.
Brings us
I
to our
respect
number
it.
Yes.
I
which
respect
is
Yes,
the
lightning,
Wind
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, it could be argued that Wind is better, but I'm here to tell you that Lightning is superior.
Lightning is superior
unupgraded
except
is
for
so good.
yeah, the
Yes,
unupgraded.
and ammo.
Yeah.
Zombies and Panzers.
It's just the upgraded shot sucks. But the other thing
It
also
does.
is like, again, keep in mind, the Fire Staff causes glitches late game. So it's like almost for high rounders, it's
It does.
practically unusable, right? But again, we're talking practicality here. So
Yes, sir.
I don't know, man.
Yes, sir.
I find the Lightning Staff honestly more useful than the Fire Staff sometimes. I would
Yeah,
probably
that-
put the Lightning higher. Just
That's
for a
fair.
practicality
That's
standpoint.
fair. I probably should have
Yeah.
done the same thing, but it's
It
okay.
also is able to take you to higher rounds as a result, and which is why it comes in at number 11. For
That's
number
fair.
10, we have
Okay.
the Fire Staff. Again,
Not a bad tier list for the staffs here.
and
Yeah,
it's
for
a better
Fire
version
then
of the
Ice.
Wind and the
Yeah.
Lightning Staff, and even though it may not have more ammo
I'd agree with this if Fire didn't have the glitches
than the
fully.
Lightning, when
Yeah.
upgraded, it does
I mean, I
have
personally
more
haven't
damage
experienced the
and
glitches myself, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I understand what he means.
especially is a great way to get out of trouble. It does start to drop off in its damage, however, around round 30 for the non-upgraded version, and around round
True.
40 or 50.
That is very true.
Yeah, the most of the staffs drop off way too early. Way
Yeah,
too early.
it just doesn't make sense. It's just I don't get why they do that.
For single target damage and horde damage, which is why it comes in at
Yes.
number 10. Coming in
It's better for something like, in my opinion, like the Panzers.
Yeah.
Baby gun at 9. Now, see, this is interesting because, well, yes, it's one of the best wonder weapons. I put it at number 2 on a damage standpoint because it actually is. In practicality, it's not that great because the shot area
Yes.
of effect is not that large. And so it does have a lot of ammo, but you're going to be spamming a lot of that ammo on like 1 or 2 zombies. you know?
100%.
So in a
100%.
practicality standpoint, I kind of agree with
at
this.
the number 9
Baby
spot,
gun
we
at
have the
9?
Baby gun from
I
Shangri-La.
kind of agree with
This
this.
weapon is special because it is so unique.
See?
and also because
Lex
it
gets
is
it.
actually
He totally gets it, man.
However,
Yeah,
it all
I
depends
agree
on
with
how
this.
quickly you can punt those baby zombies out of your way.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Because if you shoot the shot and don't take out the miniature zombies, you wasted the bullet. You wasted the bullet.
Exactly.
It's a very much of an opportune type of momentary wonder weapon. You have to literally hit it at the exact right time.
they'll
Yes,
definitely
sir, you
It's not
do.
just click and it's
So
done.
it is
you
quite
know?
Yep.
balanced in that way. However, the only drawback, like for
Yeah.
wonder weapons,
It is balanced in that way,
Yeah,
like I
at
said.
number 8, we have the Cerberus from
I respect that you put the Cerberus this high up because the unupgraded
Yeah, Cerberus is so good.
This thing is a beast. It's hard to rank it though comparatively to other zombie games because the Cold War mechanics are so different. But it goes to show this wonder weapon is literally amazing. Who cares about the upgraded variants, the unupgraded? This thing literally got me to round 100 first game of Mauer Tone, bro.
From Mauer to
Has to be
crazy.
tested.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy.
And I agree. Cerberus is better than the Chris Lax.
Yeah.
I'll say it.
I'll say it too.
I'll say it.
Yeah.
I'll say
It's
it.
way better. Way better. Especially mobility-wise too.
Best version of the
Yeah.
weapon, but I guess Treyarch just wanted to make it easier for us, I guess. The ammo is pretty decent when packed, but unpacked it kind of sucks.
It's mid-packed or unpacked, but it's better packed
But I
for
mean,
sure.
you're gonna spend all your points in Cold War and pack punching anyway. So it
And
doesn't
then plus
really
you also
matter.
got all the ammo crates around the map too, so it's really not that bad.
After that, unless you use Ring of Fire, good luck killing the zombies, the disciples, and the panzers.
Legit.
For number 7, we have the Wolf Bow from Dreisendrach. It is one of the best
Yes.
bows,
The
especially
Wolf Bow
It's
deserves
wild
it.
to me that I'll hear people say Wolf Bow mid. I'm like,
Dude,
have
who
you played Dreisendrach high rounds
for
at all?
real? That's what I would say too.
Do you
Like
know what you're
what?
talking about?
to the zombies, but
It's so good.
the whole other story. The only problem is
It's
that
such a
if you
great
only
bow.
rely on
Yeah,
shot shots, takes
it
2
is.
arrows out of your ammo stock. This goes for
All
all of these, by
chemical.
the way, but I'm just mentioning it
Y'all
now,
need all chemical.
which means that you really only have about 37 shots with it before you
That's
run out of
true.
ammo.
Yeah.
This will obviously be a problem for the later rounds,
The uncharged shot though with the bow is kind of mid.
but
It
overall,
is.
it's
It
pretty
is.
It's pretty easy to obtain when upgrading.
But usually everyone's gonna be using the charge shot anyways, so
Origins comes in at number 6.
Hey.
It is the best.
I respect that you put the ice staff below the storm bow because I do think that the storm bow like has better tracking than the ice staff sort of tornado because the ice staff tornado just sort of sits wherever you shoot it.
True.
But the lightning staff targets and
it follows
pre-patched
them,
storm
yeah.
bow, it would
would go
game-changing,
on
bro. People
forever.
were able to get to round 255 on Dreisendrach without Juggernog.
Yeah,
That has
that's
to go
wild.
to testament as to how good it is in a practicality standpoint. You know,
Exactly.
it's true.
That's what I would say
This is
too.
what every speedrunner and high round player uses for the runs.
Yes.
It kills zombies and panzers at every round, especially when with its charged shot, which has an immense radius.
Panzers it drops off on. That's why it's better just to get the Mark II on this map.
It has decent ammo. When
That
fast,
is
and can
pretty
easily
true,
take it
actually,
around
yeah.
especially when used correctly.
Oh,
cracking
yeah.
into the top 5, we have the Vitriolic Withering from Mob of
Respect that you put the acid gats up here. I know you put the magma gat lower, but honestly, acid gat and magma gat pretty much just do the same thing on different maps.
Yeah,
That's why, to me, they
that's
should be
true.
up in top 5. They're literally
Yeah,
some of the
that's
best
true.
wonder weapons ever because they know what they are. They're not infinite damage, but they do exactly what you need it to do, which
True.
is distract. And that's just
And
the
get
best.
out
That's
of
why
sticky
everybody loves
situations.
Awful lot and crossbow upgraded from Black Ops 1. Literally, it's like a wonder weapon. Literally.
Basically.
This is arguably the best version of the Blundergat since it is the most ideal distraction wonder weapon when playing either solo or co-op.
Yeah.
Especially since this single-handedly saved my ass when I would train
It
for
did.
hours and I was red screen. It is
I just hate that it damages you. You know?
Yeah, me too.
You can't get
Me
PhD
too.
does
either.
not do mind
That's
blow
why it's not number
zombies
1.
past round 4.
Yeah.
It still does a decent amount where you can still kill them with a normal packed weapon or by using the Hell's Retriever / Redeemer. At number 4 is
Yes.
the Paralyzer / Petrifier from Barry.
Ooh, now this is so controversial because pre-patch I'd agree with this spot, but because it does nothing after round 70,
Yeah, no,
honestly, I don't know if I can agree with this, man. Like it does let you fly though, so it's like in a practical standpoint, no wonder weapons pushing the bar that the Paralyzer's setting. right?
exactly. It's
That's
very
so
true.
Fascinating that you put it here, man. Yet the Sliquify is so low, right? I find the damage drop off on this thing practically to be unbearable. Like you're only really using it for movement after.
Yeah, and that's the point, is that it's not necessarily based off of damage, it's more so practicality for like helping the player out to get out of sticky situations. In this case, it'd be flying out of sticky situations if you're able to, if you're not in a tiny ass room in a building. You know, if you're out in the open like this, you can fly over them bitches and you'll be fine. Like, that's what I mean. That's why it's so good.
After round 70. And so, but the thing is like, it does what it needs to do. It's kind of like the Magma Gat in that way. So it's like, in a practical standpoint, I can kind of agree with this, man.
I'm putting them together since they are
Yes,
essentially
sir.
the same damage-wise, and
This
since
is
they both
crazy.
have unlimited
I agree
ammo.
with this.
However, of course, the Petrifier does not overheat as quickly. It is a great wonder weapon that could easily take you to round 70 plus if used correctly. especially.
This is a great list for practicality. It's actually such a great list in terms of how like a casual player or even a hardcore player would feel while using these wonder weapons throughout the rounds.
When you count
Yes,
the fact that
sir.
It nails that.
overheats, such as the dubstep
So glad he
machine
recognizes that.
from Buried. For number 3, we
Yes,
have the Stormbow
Stormbow.
from Direct
Classic.
Rock.
Yeah, this is just, it goes without saying,
You can
dude.
turn off your brain while using this wonder weapon. Go read a book, go take a shower, go to Japan. You'll be all right.
Easiest one to
Literally.
use, which is pretty funny. I
Oh, well,
played
there's a
out
voice
is,
crack right there.
both the damage and
Gotta
the
love it.
Wonder weapon for the zombies. And the Panzers, since
I will actually also be uploading a Derision Drac bow tutorial, how to get all upgraded 4 bows, literally, in a new video in 8 minutes, because so many guides and tutorials for Black Ops 3 are super outdated.
Hey, yo, should I do that too? Let me know in the comments.
So if you guys would want any other tutorials like that for any other zombies map, let me know, because seriously,
it can
doesn't make
pick
sense why
them
there
up
isn't
with
one.
a tornado, and if you're on the lower rounds, it can kill them pretty instantaneously. It is ideal for speed runs, and it is somewhat ideal for high rounds until it eventually drops off in damage.
Yeah.
Now coming into our number 2 spot, we
Of course.
have the beloved.
this has to
It
be
has
top
to
two.
be.
I mean, it's point and click and they're gone. Literally. How can
exactly.
the Thunder Gun not be here?
Thunder Gun.
Yeah.
Man. this
Preach,
baby is
preach,
so
dude,
damn
preach.
good. It is easily the best get the fuck out of my way wonder weapon
Literally.
in zombies, hands
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
It is able
Nothing
to
comes
take out
close.
whole hordes in pretty much any round, as well as take out bosses such as Panzers and Margwas in Revelations.
Yeah,
It is no wonder why so
easily.
many people prefer this over the ray gun if they are.
It's kind of sad we haven't seen this since like BO4. That is kind of sad. And even the one on BO4 doesn't even feel like the original Thunder Gun in BO3.
No,
You know?
no.
And finally, coming in at number 1 on our list, the best wonder weapon.
Flex
in
is
all-
like
in all
waiting
of
in
zombies
anticipation.
is the Apothecon Servant from Shadows of Evil.
Yep.
Thank you that you put this here. I'm just glad there will never be anything better than this, in my opinion.
No,
Other
I
than
don't think there
Free
will be
Pass
either.
Liquefire that you're about to see on Die Rise Remastered, personally. Like, you can't beat this unless you make a wonder weapon that one-shots a whole round. Period.
If you
This is
just
true.
look at it, then you clearly have no idea how amazing this wonder weapon is, especially when it was the launch version of this weapon.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the launch version, this was
The pre-patch version as well, like the one you could get on Shadows as well. My
able to
goodness.
be packed on
Yeah,
Shadows
that was
with many
absolutely
bullets,
insane.
Wouldn't you get like 20 bullets instead of 12? Like,
I think it was like 25 or 26 bullets. It was insane. Dude, you could easily turn off your brain for that. Just shoot and then the whole round is just gone. It's ridiculous how that works. It's so wild. I don't think we'll ever get another one like that. It's so crazy to imagine that. So,
you would get so many extra bullets. It was such an amazing glitch.
and it had a shit ton of ammo, and the shots lasted for upwards of 15 to 20 seconds each,
Yeah.
maybe even longer. But that's
yeah,
what I remember.
at
You'd shoot
least.
down like 5 and end around, bro. It was insane.
But even though, even the post-launch version is amazing, especially since you can upgrade it on Revelations and receive more ammo.
Yeah.
However, it's not as much as launch, but
Yeah.
it's still
I agree. I wish they never took that out. To me, that was one of the worst decisions they ever did.
It really was.
They
It
ruined
really
so much
was.
community hype from
enough
that.
for you to kill them with other weapons, gobblegums, and whatever else you have in your arsenal. So
Yeah.
there you have it.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Great,
Yes, sir.
great video. Yes.
Make sure to leave a like.
Thank
While
you,
I
thank you,
don't
thank
agree
you.
with this video, in terms of statistics, like I said, it makes perfect sense in terms of practicality. Make sure to check out Imperial Jedi, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll see you in
Hey,
that next one, baby.
let's go. So, yeah, a year later, your boy made it. So, yeah, I would definitely say I do agree with most of what he said too. It is fair critiques about certain placements on the list that I put there. But yeah, I mean, besides that, I would say for the most part, most of my rankings would still stand. There's a few I would move around. Thank you guys so much for checking out this reaction video of my video and Lex reacting to it. So I appreciate you guys checking this out, and I will see you in the next video. May the force be with you.